It's a trial and error process. All right, does this strategy work? No, it doesn't. Is there anything we could maybe change about it to make it more viable, or do we have to just scrap it right away? Although I do say, from seeing this map played in the previous series by Renegades, I loved how they just stuck together as a team. No matter what they wanted to do, no matter what their plan of action was, they did it together as a four-man squad.
Let me ask you before we get into this game. I know you said Orbit's best chance was to win an uplink. If they lose this S&D, is this series going to Faze, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think it's got. I can't see
feel
FaZe
well.
letting up a reverse sweep here. Now, one thing I'm very curious to see is how Zero is going to step it up coming into this search and destroy. I want to know, because we did see Chino bring out the sniper a little bit. Zero's not going to have it out for this first round, but maybe it's something he could bring out for future ones.
Now we'll see. It'll be the side of Orbit on offense. You can see the mini-map in the top left and just kind of give you a perspective of what we were talking about, of like how large the map is and how much area you actually have to cover. And it's going to be Zero as one player directly around the corner, fires some shots, and you can see with X-Ray, he cannot see that player right there sitting in the corner. He has no idea. It's going to be Rated getting that first kill, though.
Yeah, this top roof area is so important to control when you want to get that bomb down over at the B site. 2 kills going in favor of Orbit. Tough situation now for FaZe, as Attach is able to find one. Looks like he's lost Zuma, though. Zuma, last one alive. Can't pick up the kill. Orbit win their first offensive round, setting the tone here. Search and destroy on retaliation.
And you just see they get so aggressive over towards the bomb site, and you just cannot fight it in any way. Just pushing straight down into the B bomb site. They're able to get control. Rated gets first blood. And then Faze, I mean, you can't push down from Market. That's like just an easy choke to just push down. It's too narrow. And what? I mean, you come up on top of the catwalk there. You come out of the hotel. I mean, you're like a free kill out there just being that far out in the open. It's a very difficult bomb site to retake.
So very early on in Infinite Warfare, it seems like this map favors the offensive side a little bit. Let's see how FaZe decide to approach their offensive round here. Still looking to control that top highlight area, but I want to highlight one player. It's going to be Zero. You see him number 4 on your mini-map. Let's see if we can make something happen later in the round as action going down over near the B-bomb site.
Yep, it'll be a 3v3 once the bomb goes down. As
he's going on an adventure, man. Look at Zero.
Yeah, he is going for a very long walk here as he's going all the way on the flank. Yeah, he is the only one alive at this time. I feel like if his teammates would have waited, this could have potentially worked out. It's going to be FaZe winning the round, but if his teammates could have waited and just until he got into a position to strike and then collapsed, maybe that works out for Orbit.
Whenever you set up a play like that, the playmaker is the guy going on the flank. Everybody else just has to hold their position, because what they're doing is they're making it so FaZe cannot push forward. So that FaZe is just being stagnant. They're standing still on the map. Zero coming around the flank. He's looking to open things up, because if he's able to find the first kill there, that draws the attention from FaZe away from what they want to look at. Then the remaining players from Orbit can pounce, and they can collapse onto the FaZe members.
Yeah, in that situation, Zero's teammates cannot get picked before he goes to the flank. But here's going to be an aggressive B hit coming in from Orbit. But you see FaZe Clan changing up their defensive setup. They push all the way down onto the B site and then back out.
Okay, so this could give a bomb plan up to Orbit as FaZe start to rotate over, exploring their options around the map. Of course, we always like to see that they're doing it together, staying together as a 3-man squad, as the bomb is going to get planted here by Rated. This puts a timer on FaZe's push. Let's see how they decide to retake this bomb site.
And now FaZe, obviously, with a ton of time left to get over towards the bomb. It's going to be Urban picking up Clay in the hallway, but I would have liked to see them actually go on a little bit of a longer flank. Enable's able to get one, but now it's going to be a 1v2. It's going to be Enable, the last one alive here, going up against Rated in Zero. Now, you know, FaZe had a ton of time to work with. I feel like they just started to push up, get a little bit too reckless. Like, I feel like you could have checked your corners a little bit better as you push through the hotel, or honestly, just go all the way around on a longer flank.
It's so easy to get isolated inside that hotel area as well. As Enable falls, Orbit go up 2-1 in the lead, but when you're trying to push it and retake through the hallways, like you saw, I believe it was Urban who was just being a nuisance. He picks up a kill, then he runs back behind cover. It's so tough to actually track that player down and finish that kill. I'm getting to there near the patio roof before falling. As FaZe, sure they're losing, but still so early on in this match.
Yeah, we've seen the offensive sides just assert dominance here on retaliation, search and destroy this far. Let's stay on board with the offensive side. We'll go on with FaZe. It looks like just going to be a standard. Everybody hit B, and I'm surprised to see Orbit not change up their strategy and stack a little bit more towards this B site.
Let's see if they maybe play a bit more patiently for Zero to make something happen. There's first blood coming in from Zuma, taking down Raiden. Now action continuing to go down over to the bomb site. One more player to get past. There's essentially fighting 4-on-3 here because it gets Zero.
I love how you said, like, maybe they'll play a little bit more patient. As soon as you said, like, play a little bit more patient, like, 2 players just jumped out into the middle of nowhere with no cover whatsoever and just got picked off with ease, but it's going to be Zero and Urban evening things up here. It's going to be Attached, though, picking up 1, and
they just can't work together there.
Ends with the quickness. FaZe takes it.
They are so far away from each other that they're fighting 2 different 1v1s, and Faze here, they have the defender's advantage after they get that bomb planted. I mean, once again, the European players here being a bit too overly aggressive in search and destroy when they're setting out a player to make a play happen.
Now we'll see if one of these teams can figure out a way to win on defense. It'll be Faze's turn. I think if you're Faze, just stack everybody at B. Just fly and be aggressive. Everybody over at the B site. It looks like they're going to send one player through the top hotel. They're going to try and make a play over towards B. And you see Orbit, they knew that push was coming. They played a little bit further back, but it's going to be Zuma getting first blood. That's huge for Faze.
Yeah, that's such a big first blood because it gives them inside lobby control, which means that they have the rooftop control as well. It looks like Joe trying to back up as Zuma gets picked off, and nobody there from Faze to trade the kill, so some aggression being shown by Zuma. Doesn't pay off here as Orbit tie up the man count. It's 3v3, but what is Orbit doing here? Why are they spreading so far away from each other?
Yeah, Joe going on a very long flank here. He's probably trying to open up over towards Market, but it's going to be Enable killing Rated, and that's actually going to be bombed down. So now Orbit in a very difficult position. You're relying on Joe to come on this long flank and make a big play.
As he makes his way around, is he going to spot this player on the stairs? Oh, come on.
No.
Come on. You gotta see
Are
that.
you serious?
You gotta see that.
Are you serious?
You gotta see that. There's no way.
He's right there.
Anyways, it's Urban left in a 1v2, making a 1v1. Urban versus Attach. Rewind ready to pop here if he wants to pop it. Little spot Attach on the way, but he decides to reload here.
This is one of the oddest rounds of Search and Destroy we've ever seen.
Time starting to wind down here. He's got to plant the bomb. Attach is right behind the pillar. Attach is going to spot him. Good trigger discipline being shown by Attach. As Urban, he's going to turn back around. 5 seconds remaining here. I think Attach is going to clutch out the round, but how odd was that? Do you think if Joe actually spots the player on the stairs there, this is around that Orbit wins?
I think if Joe spots that player that he walked directly on top of and kills it, they probably win the round. Yes, Trevin. I mean, right there, it was just
that's rough.
Some odd plays. Very smart play, though, from Attach, like you were saying. Like, not challenge that fight. Never would have known what could have gone on in a gun battle like that. You know, maybe Zero hits a nice headshot, and he's able to take him out. Just plays a very smart way to win Faze that round.
Especially because he has a rewind, right? As soon as he maybe starts getting shot at in an unfavorable position, just taps his triggers, activates that payload. Now inside the hallway, Attach is going to find 2 players in. This time Zero, he's working a bit more quickly on the flank. I want to switch over him because he's obviously going to be the playmaker here, but Faze, they've really yet to progress up the map. It seems like they know exactly what's going to happen here from Zero as he pinches in through the bar. He's yet to spot anyway, but there's first blood coming in from Urban. A good start for Orbit here as they're on the defensive end.
Yeah, Urban and Zero laying some shots into Attach. They're able to take him out relative ease at the beginning of the round, so we'll see where Faze goes now with bomb in hand. Looks like Clay just trying to set up over here, trying to clear out Market, but they know there's players in the top hotel. They need to get rid of this player in the bedroom. It's going to be Rated. Going to take out Enable here, and another long flank coming in. We see Zuma now trying to make his way all the way around, and I believe he spots one player all the way in the back, but Zuma's going to be the last one alive. Looks like we're going to see a defensive round win here from Orbit. So they close out the round by taking Zuma out. Tied up at 3-3 here, Revin. What do you think these teams need to change up? We've seen minor success from the defensive side from both sides. What do you think they can change up?
They got to stop spreading out. You got to work together as a team here in order to win Retaliation, Search and Destroy. Where Faze go wrong in that round there, after they get first blooded, they start to fan out across the map. You had one player over near the top patio roof, one player over near the main bridge, one player over near the garage near the B bomb site. You're never going to be able to work effective trades here in Search and Destroy or overwhelming and catch an opponent off guard when you're that far away from each other on the map. Stay together, stay clumped up, and try to work your man advantages where you can find them.
Yeah, so I think what Orbit's trying to do now on the offensive side of things, so Faze is going to put that pressure down over towards B. So instead of just rushing there right away, they're trying to bait some of these players out, get Faze poking a little bit too far, and just play a little bit more defensive setup here on offense. But the scary part is, as Joe gets behind enemy lines, is that this opens up, once Joe clears this out, for the option the bomb to be wrapped over towards A, and they have no idea Joe's all the way here in the back.
That's exactly why I had Clay Star highlighted here, because Joe ran right past him, and Clay makes him pay right there as he takes down Rated. Joe's still behind enemy lines as well. He's going to get spotted here. Faze knows exactly what's up. You see the pinch starting to get formed here. Clay challenges the engagement. Joe knows exactly what's going on here, but Enable already in a good spot. Picks up that kill as it's all up to Zero now.
But look how far they are spread out again.
Exactly.
I mean, there's no team play here from Orbit coming in as Zero fires some shots. Nice headshot there to take Zuma out from behind the car. And Scott, his FTL jump ready. I don't know when he would decide to use that here, but it looks like Attach going to be watching over towards this A bomb site. This is one where Zero's going to try. It looked like he was going to try and get bombed down, but now he's spotted both, and he's going to go for the challenge.
Faze, there's no need to commit both players here. If Zero finds one, he could realistically find that kill. If he spots this player, FTL jumps forward. No, not going to happen
No.
now. I was very scared for Faze there because you only need to challenge one player in that scenario. There's not enough time for Zero to get the bomb plan off. Just play it safe. Have the other player just run away from the map like you saw there. Was too close for my comfort there, but in the end, Faze, they clutch up, they win the round.
So now we'll see Faze on offense. We'll see if they can kind of take control of the search and destroy. They win this one. It'll go to 5-3. They're looking in a pretty good spot to take this map.
Okay, so Enable with the bomb in hand. They're back on offense. Nade's going out. Over near the Market stairs as different approach here on the defensive end from Orbit. By playing Nobody, Market allows for a free bomb plant here over at the B site. Let's swap over to Clayster as he's looking over his teammate. Zoom is able to find the kill onto Joe, so it's now left up to Zero and Urban to make things work here for Orbit. And once again, guess where Zero is? Coming along the flank.
But they're doing these flanks, but they're just not getting anything for it. Like, meaning, like, they'll get one kill, but, like, now nobody's close to each other. I mean, look, if you're Faze, you know, you have an idea where both players are. Just isolate one, trade that out effectively, and then the round is yours. But they're going to actually let Urban take out Enable on the opposite side of the map, and they know they have Clayster trapped inside Garage here. Clay is going to have to jump out and challenge. He's not going to win the gunfight. Zero takes him out, so the bomb get defused. And Orbit finally wins the defensive round. I
feel like Urban really wins that round for Orbit. After he picks up his first kill in the round, he doubles back through the patio roof, and he catches Enable as he was trying to reflank and reestablish position over near the roof side of the map. Clay was left in a tough spot because you only have 2 exits from the garage side of the map. Either you come back down, near the wall, or you move in through the doorway out through the lower street. He had to commit to one engagement. Fortunately, he got pinched in the end. Now it's going to be Orbit as they tie things back up. They're on offense here. You still have Zero with the FTL jump. Has a Scarab to use here if he wants to call it in to try to get some information.
They'll be Orbit trying to push in over towards that B site again. And this time they don't play slow. This time they go with aggression. It's going to be Zuma and Enable picking up some kills for Faze. So the aggression does not pay off for Orbit as they just have one player standing. It's going to be Joe left alive against all 4 members of Faze Clan. Well, it looks like Faze, they push all the way through. They have no idea where Joe is positioned here.
Joe, this is not where you want to go, my friend. Back on up. Play your life. I mean, obviously, the percentages are low here for him to win around, but still percentage from the win. Able to find one, takes down Able, going to re-challenge here. But everybody else from Faze is there. He gets overwhelmed. Faze now on map point.
I feel like once you challenge there and you get one, you give up your positioning. I don't really hate. Yeah, I don't really hate the idea of re-peeking this. He just had no idea that Clayster is coming through this little side opening here. I mean, if he had any idea he was coming, you would just lay down on that ramp and he would have been able to take him out with ease. But I feel like once you win that first engagement, you're able to challenge and get the second one, then everybody starts playing a little bit more cautious on Faze, and that's when you have an opportunity to clutch around like that.
I mean, the thing is, like, in the mind of Joe, if his team was in the opposite scenario and there was one alive for the other team, he wants his team to group up and play together, play for the trades. So it's really interesting that he decides to re-challenge there. By the way, active camera popped down. Oh, it's Christmas for Enable. He finds 3 players. He's going to re-challenge for the second. His teammate is there. 2 remaining players here. Zuma is also going to pop his payload. Reactive armor here. Challenges one on the staircase as there you go. Faze, close out retaliation, search and destroy. They go up 2-0 in the series as they're looking to 3-0 the European competition.
Yeah, and that's really one of the first rounds, first plays we've seen where, Reactive and active camo come into play, and they worked to perfection. You saw Enable get into position. He spots 3 players there on the staircase with active camo, calls it out to a teammate. He picks one. His teammate picks up another. Then Zuma challenging there with reactive armor at the end. And you can see the faces on Orbit. Just by looking at that, you can pretty much guess the series score. It's 2-0 in favor of Faze Clan. So we take a look at some of the stats. Zuma went absolutely crazy during that S&D.
Yeah, also got to get it up to Enable. He goes 7-8, but he's got 3 bomb plants as well, putting his life on the line to get the objective down. Urban had a pretty good search and destroy as well as Zero, but once again, the mistakes that we saw Orbit making always came on the defensive end when they would send Zero on that long flank, but more often than not, nothing really came of it.
You always value the objective players.
That's because I was an objective player. I always got to play
I was a Slayer. I couldn't care less about the objective, to be quite honest with you.
See, if you guys have never played any type of game with Mr. X, he is allergic to any sort of objective. He will always bait his teammates out. So, like if you're going inside the hard point, he'll be the guy not necessarily looking over you, but just baiting you into the hard point so he can pick up the kills after. He's probably one of the worst teammates you could ever have, but somehow he found a way to win tournaments.
That's really, really accurate on my playstyle. I know me and Puckett, we game all the time, and I'm just complaining like, oh, nobody's doing the objective. And Puckett's just laughing because it's like, I'm nowhere near the objective myself.
You're not going to.
And I know I have no intent to go over near the objectives.